And there has been much speculation on lineup changes for the Kings, and indeed there has been a lineup change for Sacramento. Eddie Johnson will get the start in place of Terry Tyler. He matches up against Rodney McRae.
Well, you have to go with the guys that have gotten you here. Eddie Johnson, they're looking for a lot more scoring, especially in that first quarter. They don't want to get behind the Rockets. Rodney McRae, one of those players that you have to make him work defensively, and I think if you can get him into a half-court game, Eddie Johnson can cause him all kinds of problems.
The Kings have fallen in the hole early offensively, and the hope is that Eddie will be able to come in there and score some early points for Sacramento. And speaking of points, let's go to the point guards, and there it is Robert Reed and Reggie Theus. Reed coming off a 29-point game in Game 2.
Well, Robert Reed has done everything for this team. He only has 2 turnovers in these 2 games, and that's a very significant factor for the Rockets. Robert Reed hits the big bucket for him. He's just done everything. Reggie Theus, on the other hand, hasn't really played up to his all-star caliber of play that we've been expecting, and I expect here in the friendly confines of Arco Arena that he'll break out of it.
All right, Phil Johnson's keys to victory, and they are slightly different as we go into Game 3, and we will take a look at those. The keys to victory for the Kings to win this one in Game 3 tonight, and we start off with executing on offense. The Kings have not been scoring the kind of points they know they can.
Credit that Houston defense. They know the plays. They know these players. They know everybody very well, so it's going to be very difficult still to execute your half-court game. But the way you make up for it, Tom, is you force them into the errors on the other end.
Phil Johnson is looking for the Kings to get more physical, and again you saw the third key to victory, controlling the tempo. That's what they've been looking for all series.
Yes, you've got to control the tempo. The way you do that is with turnovers and execution. Execution and shooting is not going to be there. It never is in playoff games, so you've got to look to your defense.
All right, we are just about set to go tonight. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this one. We'll meet the starters, and we'll get underway live from Arco Arena, Game 3 of the first round in the NBA playoffs.
This quarter has been brought to you in part by the Allstate Insurance Companies. Leave it to the good hands people.
Johnson getting ready for this one tonight, as we are as well. The Kings and Rockets in Game 3. The crowd at a feverish pitch, and we're going to let them do a lot of the talking tonight because they have certainly, of course, been one of the biggest stories of the season. Let's join David Axelson with the introductions.
Game featuring the Houston Rockets and your Sacramento Kings. Now the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Houston Rockets, at 1 forward, wearing number 22 at 6'8" from Louisville, Rodney McRae. At the other forward, wearing number 34 at 7 feet even from Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon. Starting at center, wearing number 50 at 7'4" from Virginia, Ralph Sampson. At one guard, wearing number 32 at 6'6" from Drake, Lewis Lloyd. And at the other guard, wearing number 33 at 6'8" from St. Mary's of Texas, Robert Reed. The head coach of the Rockets is Bill Fitch. His assistants are Carol Dawson and Rudy Tomjanovich. The trainer is Dick Vandervoort. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups for the Sacramento Kings. At 1 forward, wearing number 53 at 6'9" from Minnesota, Mark Olberding. At the other forward, ranked number 8 at 6'7" from Illinois, Eddie Johnson. Starting at center, ranked number 41 at 6'10" from Texas, LaSalle Thompson. At one guard, wearing number 42 at 6'5" from Indiana, Mike Woodson. And at the other guard, wearing number 24 at 6'7" from Nevada, Las Vegas, Reggie Theus. The head coach of the Kings is Phil Johnson. His assistants are Frank Hamill and Jerry Reynolds. The trainer is Bill Johnson.
The officials in this one tonight, as appointed by the NBA, will be Paul Mahalik and Daryl Garrettson. Terry Durham will be the alternate official in this one tonight, Lucius. And we talked about Phil Johnson. They're the officials. We talked about Phil Johnson putting in Eddie Johnson in the starting lineup. He'll also be using some differences in substitutions tonight. We're going to see Rich Kelly and Joe Klein possibly a lot earlier, as well as Larry Drew on the point.
You can bet you're going to see those guys out there. But it's so important to get started in this first quarter. You know, the Kings have gotten behind, and you want to keep the crowd involved. And the way you do that is go out and get a good start.
There are the matchups in this one tonight, and you'll again see a lot of switching around on both the front line and in the backcourt. So we are just about set to go. Arco Arena's 10,333. Stomping and clapping. They have been waiting for this one. It'll be Ralph Sampson to tip it off against LaSalle Thompson. And the Kings meter will be lit up for most of the night tonight. And Thompson winning the tip for the Kings. We are underway.